Good evening, Wildcats, and welcome to UATV Channel 3 Sports. As always, I'm Brandon Michele.
And I'm Zach Hynek. Thanks for joining us tonight. Right now, if you're a sports fan, this is the time of the year for you. With the NHL, NFL, NBA all in full swing, NCAA football is coming to a close, and we have college basketball right around the corner. Brandon, is this the best time for sports?
Well, I mean, when November comes around, you can think of just a few things. Wings and football on Sundays, of course, all the time. And then you can always look forward to a game. You've always got basketball. You always got something. So November's the month to be. And a little unfortunate baseball's over, but hey, I'm looking forward to the sports coming
How
up
about
now.
that World Series, though?
That was... Didn't expect it to end so quickly. But you know what? Things happen, I guess.
There you go.
Well, considering NBA is finally underway, here is how your professionals are doing here from the U of A. Stanley Johnson, who plays for the Pistons, started the season undefeated 3-0, averaging 8.3 points a game. TJ McConnell, who was signed last minute to the 76ers, is still trying to find a spot on the team, but McConnell is averaging 4.3 points as the Sixers begin their season 0-3. Rondé Hollis-Jefferson is off to a slow start, averaging 4.5 points, but is only a matter of time till he gets comfortable on the court, doing what he did here in Arizona once again for Brooklyn as they struggle to find their first win of the season.
Now, this next package is one that we've wanted to produce for quite some time here at UATV. Channel 3 sports reporter Zoe Wolkowitz got a behind-the-scenes look at how the equipment managers for the Arizona football team help the team not just play good, but look good when they take the field.
What Arizona football fan doesn't go crazy for quarterback Anu Solomon when he throws a 40-yard pass for a touchdown? And who doesn't get chills when any Arizona wide receiver outruns an entire defense to reach the end zone? So, who doesn't love to watch their favorite football team win every weekend? However, there's a lot more that goes into the success of a team than a great coach or a stud athlete. Meet the man behind the magic of Arizona football, Michael Barnett.
The coaches and players, they have such demanding jobs and so much stress on them that they don't need to worry about maintenance, ordering, or transportation of equipment. That's my role. There are so many moving parts, and my job is to see the bigger picture and make sure everything is fitting together and running smooth.
You're also going to be on inspection, making sure every locker is uniform, putting out the helmets facing the same way. We always face the field. Nameplates are out, programs, shoes, socks, they're all out as one.
I usually arrive about 6.5 hours before the team. The students come in 6. I come in, I map out the day's role. I go in, I write it on the big board, I explain it. Then as the day gets closer and things get taken care of, we make sure the jerseys are put out properly, the helmets are tightened, visors cleaned, we make sure the issue window is set up, and when the team arrives, I try to have as positive an attitude so the good energy fills the room.
All the work that Michael and his equipment crew do definitely does not go unnoticed. Even Coach Rodriguez has something to say about it.
And Michael and the rest of the staff do a good job. And I've been like, everywhere I've been, I've had great managers and great student managers, and this is as good a group I've been around. Our student managers here are off the charts.
Like Coach said, Arizona has the best student equipment managers in the nation. In fact, Barnett began his career right here at the University of Arizona as one.
It's a dream come true. When Wendell called me with this opportunity, I was on my way in 5 minutes. And it only took me that long because I had to pack.
What separates Barnett from every other equipment manager out there is the passion he has for his job.
Imagine walking in on your first day and Gronk and Nick Foles are calling you by name. 50,000 fans are screaming for you when you catch a punt during pregame. Fast forward to being a full-time employee and multiply that feeling by 1,000.
Reporting from UATV, Zoe Wolkowitz.
Now joining us live in the studio is Zoe Wolkowitz. Zoe, can you just take us through and tell us what the atmosphere is like being in there in the locker room before a game with Mike and the crew?
Yeah, it was so fun, actually. There's country music just blasting on the speakers, and everyone has their list, is going around and doing their jobs, and it's amazing to see all the work that goes in. You see the players on the field, but there is detailed by detailed, like what toilet paper they use versus, right? Yeah. that little detail, and you know what gloves and go in and which side of your locker and all these things to a T.
That's cool. I know I've been in the tunnel before the game starts, and even 15 minutes before the game takes off, there are players running up looking for chin straps, cleats, helmets, anything it might be. So they're really involved even till 6 hours before, till the start of it. Do you see that too when you were there?
Definitely. You know, I actually got to talk to some of the players about their relationship with Michael and the crew, and all of them had such positive things to say, and Michael's always running up to them like, can I fix your chin strap, or your gloves fitting okay, and all that stuff. And something I'd really like to kind of look on about that whole thing is people talk so much about, you know, chemistry as a team, but it's chemistry as a team is way beyond, you know, on that field. It's all the background stuff that people like Michael and his staff do, you know, to contribute to the success of the team that can be on the field.
Yeah, and it surely does not go unnoticed with Coach Rodriguez speaking so highly of the equipment manager and the student manager staff that they have there.
Exactly. If we had enough time, I'd put in all the players' words about him and his crew and everything. So.
Yeah, but again, great package.
Thank you.
Thanks for getting out there and reporting that for us. Yeah. Again, Zoe Wolkowitz. Stay with us after the break, and be sure to tune with us for our upcoming sports for the Red Blue game, and more highlights and analysis is coming up next.
What are you guys doing?
Working.
Continue.
Hi, it's David Hasselhoff, the Hawk. Get Hawk with UATV. Stay tuned. Don't change the dial.
Thanks for sticking with us here on Channel 3 Sports. Let's get right back to the action.
Now, life without fencing for some of us truly dedicated fencers can be like a broken épée, pointless. Luckily for us, Channel 3 Sports reporter Claudette Pattison took a stab at learning more about the U of A fencing team. En garde!
The Arizona fencing team is a club that welcomes U of A students and people of Tucson to learn more about the art of fencing. Players on the team talked about why they enjoy being a part of this club.
There's a very interesting mental game that goes into when you're fencing somebody and when you're competing against them. It's sort of a conversation that you end up going back and forth and learning about their own personal style, and then of course you try and beat them.
It was a very interesting sport, right? So yeah, kind of have to think about what you're doing, and it's a bit more of a mind game, a puzzle.
Although some people look at the game of fencing as more of a strategical game, others play just for fun.
It's the people that really, I think, makes the club what it is, because the sport is really fun.
It's definitely helped me make friends. I'm good friends with several of our members, and it's also helped me stay physically healthy.
The Arizona fencing team welcomes people of all ages to join their club, and no fencing experience is necessary. For UATV, Channel 3 Sports, I'm Claudette Pattison.
U of A hockey is in full swing, and the Cats seem to be facing many difficulties. With a 3-6 record, the Wildcats begin their season with the same way they did last year, dealing with many inconsistencies. Coach Berman talks about their season.
I think it started in the off season. As soon as the season ended, we wanted to make sure we brought in the right kids. We're very happy with our recruiting class. We're very happy with the high character work ethic kids that we brought in here first and foremost. Really excited about the work the guys put in over the summer. Over half the guys doubled or even tripled their weight room results. So we hit the ice, and it's been about systems. Heavy emphasis this week on our forecheck in the neutral zone, the offensive zone, D-zone coverage, making sure we're taking care of our back check assignments, and then slowly sprinkling in the special teams. But it's all about the details here to start. We're preparing to play Arizona State's NCAA team, so everything we do is about the details, making sure we're attacking in numbers. We've got an enormous challenge next weekend, and we're excited about the opportunity. You're going to see a much different team here, a much bigger, more exciting brand of hockey, because we're a better, faster team that's going to transition quicker, and we think that's going to translate to the fan base and help to grow the crowds even more.
Now, Brandon, it does seem to be a slow start for the Wildcat hockey team to start off. Where do you think their weaknesses are lying to start the season?
Well, when you look at it, the inconsistencies are more or less on defense. They are able to score the goals. Last week they scored 3 goals. They were able to produce that, but they weren't able to hold off the offense that was coming onto them. And I think that was one of their problems. So defense-wise is something they need to focus on, but it's still early. There's still time, and hopefully we can get it all together before ASU.
Yeah, definitely the ASU game is the big one that we always look forward to, and it does seem they're really trying to change the culture and the tradition and history, which is hard to do for a program like they, 3 years ago they were the Ice Cats, now they're the Wildcat hockey team. So really with Coach Berman, they're really getting that change adjusted, it does look like.
Yeah, it's come a long ways. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back after this commercial break with more UATV Channel 3 Sports.
I'm Derek Williams, your former U of A Wildcat. You're watching UATV. Don't change the channel.
All right, David Hasselhoff, the Hawk. Get Hawk with UATV. Stay tuned. Don't change the dial.
For the 5th season in a row, the Michele Center was sold out, and over 15,000 fans flooded the arena to watch the Arizona basketball red and blue game. As early as 5:30 a.m., fans were lined up, and the atmosphere at Michele was simply electric. Joining us in the studio to talk about the upcoming season is UATV sports analyst Justin Spears.
I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend, Justin Spears himself. We're brought you in to for you to give us your breakdown on the red versus blue game, the upcoming season, what we have to be excited for, and the outlook on the general players.
Well, first things first, the Arizona football team is 5-4, so it's kind of safe to say that basketball season is officially upon us at this point.
We're taking it on in full stride.
Exactly. So now we're starting to hear the dribbles and the swooshes coming closer. So I'm excited for basketball season.
Can you just describe what that atmosphere was like in that red versus blue game?
Well, the red-blue game is a game that's very special. And, when I went into media day and I talked to head coach Sean Miller, I said, what's the importance of the red-blue game? And Sean Miller said this is actually the most important game of the season because, number one, it's not like the Midnight Madness that we're used to seeing these blue blood programs like Kansas and Kentucky that they have. So we're able to get every piece of Tucson to come in, not just students, but the entire city of Tucson comes together. And like you said, over 15,000 fans for a scrimmage. They're not even playing a team. It's them playing against each other. And the fact is,
on a Saturday during college football season,
exactly.
Yeah.
And the fact is that they come together for a scrimmage, and it's loud, and these fans are proud. And on top of that, this is a chance for Arizona to finally showcase what they have for recruits. You got to remember, Sean Miller brings in at least 6 recruits to these red-blue games, and with over 15,000 fans, screaming and seeing the video board and all the cool effects, it's a great atmosphere.
Well, you could see it too, because in the line outside the stadium, there are a very diverse group of fan base out there, from old Tucson citizens to students alike.
Yeah.
And when you're in there, as a recruiting standpoint, like you said, it is so powerful to just be in there and to feel that atmosphere, to feel that energy in the crowd, and to feel that. I saw players or fans walking around with signs of new recruits that haven't even been signed yet for the next season, saying to follow them on Instagram so we could like their pace and pose, and you could see the recruits with their Snapchats open. So it's definitely an electric atmosphere out there.
Oh, yeah, and speaking of which, going a couple years ago when Stanley Johnson was a recruit, he didn't even commit to Arizona yet. But the fact is that he went into the Red-Blue game, and to hear the Zona Zoo chanting Stanley Johnson, look, I'm a senior in high school, and if I go to a college for a recruiting visit and they're out there screaming my name, that totally makes me want to go to your school.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Not even to mention the gorgeous campus and seeing it all.
Yeah,
taking it in,
the scenery of Arizona is beautiful, and the fact is that when you see these recruits getting on campus, Sean Miller's escorting these guys in a nice golf cart and showing them the nice scenery and all the great facilities that Arizona basketball has to offer. Sean Miller knows what he's doing, and with the Red-Blue game, it's only a plus.
Yeah, I think you could also see the recruiting standpoint of it, losing 4 players this year to the NBA. Now we're going back, and it seems like we didn't miss a beat almost coming off. Who are the real leaders on this team? Is it Gabe York, Tarczewski? Who do we have going for us?
Well, Arizona, the college basketball preseason rankings came out, and they were ranked at number 12. Now, a 12 ranking for a team that loses 4 starters, you sit there and come on, are you serious? But a program like Arizona, and they get it done recruiting-wise, they don't rebuild, they reload. And, to go to your question about who's going to be the leader of this team, it could be Gabe York, but Gabe York really hasn't had the starting role yet. So I think with a guy like Caleb Tarczewski, he's been a 3-year starter. If he continues to stay healthy all season long, he is going to be the most successful Wildcat in terms of wins at Arizona. So I think with Caleb Tarczewski, especially with Brandon Ashley and Aaron Gordon and Stanley Johnson, all these guys coming in, he kind of seemed like the outcast of the starting group because he wasn't that true leader. Now he's going to take on a much bigger role, kind of similar to what Jordan Hill was in the 2008-2009 year, because they really don't have much veterans to rely on, and Caleb Tarczewski will be that threat in the low post.
So taking off from the low post to the small forward position, we lost Ray Smith to the ACL injury this year, which was devastating to our team. But who's going to really fill in and step in at that kind of small forward position?
Now, with Ray Smith, it was almost like the replacement of Rondé.
Yeah.
And that's so detrimental to a team because, number one, not only is he a freak athlete and great on defense, but he's just such a likable personality.
He really is.
And, with that small forward position, I really think that Arizona will go small this season and maybe put in a guy like Alonzo Trier, who's more natural at the shooting guard position. So you'll have probably a lineup of Parker Jackson Cartwright, Kadeem Allen, who was redshirted last season, and then put in Trier at that small forward position. Sure, it's very small, but he adds a more scoring and more, finesse pizzazz to the starting lineup. And I think if Alonzo Trier can definitely work on his defensive game on the wing, I think he'll be great at the small forward position.
Yeah, I think one thing that we definitely noticed in the Red-Blue game is that there's no lack in swagger when it comes to Arizona basketball. You could see when they took the court and the flames and the smoke, running through that smoke, no one missed a beat, and they had stepped right back into it. It's basketball season again.
Well, yeah, and, of course, the first couple games are always going to be, the breaking in and playing the teams like Chico State, what they're playing this Sunday, exhibition game. But the thing about Arizona is that Sean Miller always picks out one game a year, whether it be at home or whether it be on the road. They play at number 9 Gonzaga this season in the first week of December. So if they can stay consistent, they stay undefeated into that Gonzaga game, and if they come out on top of Gonzaga, I think Arizona has proven themselves that they are definitely a national title contender, and they deserve that top 10 ranking as opposed to number 12.
Love it. Well, Justin, thank you so much for coming in, speaking with us, giving us your insight.
Thank you.
You could stay tuned for Justin's morning show tomorrow at 10 p.m., which is aired over the camp radio station and Park Student Union, On the Ball with Justin Spears.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on, Zach.
Sweet. So now stay with us after the break. But before we go, we asked students around campus what they think of the upcoming Wildcat basketball team and how they think their projection of the season is going to go.
As a freshman, I'm more excited about, going to all the games, hopefully seeing us win all the time, go undefeated, hopefully win a trophy.
Man, I'm excited as always. I think we're going to be good this year. Our big men down low are exciting, and we have some new faces, so I think it'll be a lot of fun.
I'm very excited for basketball season. I'm born and raised in Tucson, so U of A basketball has always been huge here, and I'm really excited for this season because we've got a lot of new players, so it'll be something different.
I plan on attending every home game we have. That would be pretty cool.
The last 2 years, I haven't missed a home game.
I'm going to go to as many as I possibly can, as many fit into my schedule. I've already reserved 2 of them, so probably between 10 to 15.
Hoping a good amount. I've been going to them all throughout high school and when I was a kid, because my dad's a huge basketball fan, so.
Team expectations. Yeah, like I said, I hope we go undefeated. I heard we're a really good team. I've seen us play a few games. I feel like we go all the way this year.
I'll say Final Four. I think it's kind of under the radar this year. I don't think we have the hype that we had the last few years, which I think will end up being good for us.
I don't know if they'll be as good as when Sean Johnson was on the team, but I think that they'll be pretty.
My expectation for this season is just to see a lot of fun games. Like, we're going to have a lot of players who can put up points, so it's going to be fun to see some high-scoring games, some good rivalry games. Hopefully we don't blow out ASU too bad.
I'm Derek Williams, the former U of A Wildcat. You're watching UATV. Don't change the channel.
Well, before we wrap it up here in the studio, here's what you need to know about your upcoming Wildcats in action. Women's volleyball will face off against Washington State at home Friday. Game time is set for 6, but they'll also face Washington on Sunday at noon. Women's soccer will welcome our friendly rivals ASU to town as game time set for 6, and you're not going to want to miss that one.
No, sir.
No, sir. Now, U of A football heads to USC after that devastating loss against Washington last week. Let's hope for a turnaround, right?
Yeah, I think they got a definite challenge ahead of them coming into the Coliseum. It's an atmosphere unlike any other. They're going to Los Angeles. That game will be at 8:30 local time, so a night game for us to tune into. And with all the pressure, USC's just been playing with so much swagger, so much tenacity that after the Washington game, I just don't know if we can compete with them on a physicality level that we need to really take ourselves back and get us in that grind and in that mentality mindset to win that game.
But as always, U of A basketball season is almost underway. So if you want to catch their exhibition game against Chico State, join them Sunday at 6 o'clock at Michele for game time. Well, that'll do it here for UATV Channel 3 Sports. Thanks so much for tuning in. And remember to like us on Facebook and, well, check out our YouTube channel at UATV Channel 3.
Tune in next week where we'll have a recap on the Arizona football game against the highlights from the exhibition matchup against Chico State. For UATV and Channel 3 Sports, this has been Zach Hynek.
And I'm Brandon Mejia. Good night, Arizona.